Okay, so there's actually a lot I gotta do this morning, so I'm going to start by getting my shoes on while discussing my low, my high, my active kindness. Where do I start? Well, I guess I could say that for my low, 2 of my final 4 are out. Yeah, I actually had Bama and Michigan State making it to the Final Four. But hey, first time since 2008 we have 4 number 1s in the Final Four. That's pretty cool. It ultimately doesn't affect who I think is going to win it all, because I actually have Florida and Houston in the final, with Houston winning it all. Yes, I think Houston is going to beat Duke. And yes, I think Florida is going to beat Auburn. In fact, I'm absolutely sure that's going to happen. But honestly, because I'm having such a hard time figuring out what I guess another low I have is I did take a while to get this video started, and considering I have a lot to do this morning in this video, yeah, I'll say that I procrastinated getting out of bed this morning. Let's see, my high would be, everything else that happened. I went to church yesterday and got to sit with some of the very best people that I know. Then, okay, so back in December, when my parents and I were celebrating my birthday at Libs, my mom had asked me what I wanted to do for like a birthday dinner celebration when my brother and his family came home, because they were away at that time. And I told her that I wanted turkey dinner, because, it was still the season, as well as the fact that on Christmas Day, my brother and his family had a turkey dinner and they didn't even share. I'm not mad about that. Although I'm a little annoyed that it took this long for us to get a turkey dinner again, because, life got in the way. But you know what? Even though we didn't celebrate my birthday yesterday, obviously, I'm just going to call it here and say I got my turkey dinner, because honestly, it was so good. Who complained about this? Complete with, salad, rolls, peas, mashed potatoes, gravy, and of course, her stuffing. I've said this before many times, but my mom makes the best stuffing ever, and yeah, it was still awesome. And not to mention, after I, left, I came here and watched Tournament of Champions. If you didn't see my short last night, or you didn't watch Tournament of Champions last night, your eyes and ears didn't deceive you. Joe Sasto, number 4 seed, beats number 1 seed Jet Tila with a burger and fries. Everyone in that arena, if you watch that episode, everyone in the arena is stunned. Okay, Joe Sasto himself is like, I was ready to go home after what the judges said about Jet Tila's dish. To which Guy says, I was ready to send you home. Yeah. It is the craziest thing I think I've ever seen watching Tournament of Champions. So, because I'm actually kind of hyped right now, let's continue by reading this week's One Piece manga chapter. And I have to still do this month in retrospective. I've got a lot to do. Okay, so, One Piece chapter 1144, A Time for Warriors. Okay, let's see what we got here. Whoa. So Ripley shows Frankie what appears to be, it looks like a giant robot that was commandeered into some sort of living facility. Which is odd, because this is Elbaf. There wouldn't be anything mechanical or futuristic anywhere. Oh, there's Lilith and Bonnie. Apparently they got lost. Three. Holy cow. Lilith's deduced that whatever they're at has been around for 3,000 years. They say 3 millennia here, but yeah, 3,000 years, same thing. Even Elbap has no record what this building is, according to Ripley. Looks like Lilith is going to settle down and live there. Whoa, looks like one of the children's fears, which is lightning, showed up. Okay, looks like more and more kids' fears are appearing. One kid said he was afraid of lightning. Another kid said he was afraid of a Draugr, which I do believe is a Draugr. Okay, corporal undead creature from Norse mythology and folklore, often depicted as a revenant or animated corpse that guards its grave and buried treasure. Okay. So basically a skeleton zombie soldier thing. Okay. Okay, and Brooke thinks that the Draugr looks like him. That's funny. Okay, Colin wants to fight, but he's too young, so he can't. Okay, Jara really does appear as if he's hiding something because he doesn't want the Straw Hats to fight at all. Okay. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Ha! Okay, so Colin, even though he's told he's not allowed to fight, he sneaks like a little robo. Well, robo for him would be like a giant creature for a human. And he recruits the rest of Straw Hats like, now we are the Colin Pirates. I gotta say, it's actually kind of adorable, it is. Okay. Oh. It would seem that Gunko was listening to New World, which was Brooke's song. Okay. Oh, TD. Okay, so if you look at the headphones that Gunko is wearing listening to New World, TD stands for what are known as tone dials. Dials are an item in One Piece that have many different functions. A tone dial basically is a recording of a sound that you can play over and over. However, in the world of One Piece, tone dials can only remember like one frequency or one sound. So if you want to listen to your favorite song, you would need to get a tone dial of that song. Considering that I have like almost 6,000 songs on my iPhone, I would need like 6,000 of these tone dial headphones. That's crazy. Okay, it looks like Saul is trying to stop the kids from moving. All right. Uh-huh. Hold on. Oh, nice. Oh, nice. Okay, so first of all, this entire chapter I haven't brought up till now because they didn't really explain it that much. But remember, the giant warrior pirates were, drunk from the party that they were all at. Naturally, in order to be in perfect condition to fight these monsters, they need to sober up. This entire chapter, the giant warrior pirates are in the bathroom throwing up all the booze that they were drinking so they could sober up. I mean, I'd be remiss if I didn't say that I've done that before myself. Full stop. I actually did that during cabin fever back in February. I had to drive somehow, right? But it's just so funny that they make a reference to that sort of thing here. But the giant warrior pirates are great. Dorian Bright did the Hakaku Sovereignty, which is always a treat to see. Oh, and Scopper Cabana is going to fight too. Oh my God. This is going to be awesome. This is going to be so awesome. Holy cow. Yeah. Let's see what happens next week, shall we? Now that we've gotten the pleasantries out of the way, let's get to the real topic of this video, which is... Hold on, if I can bring it up real fast. The fact that after today, March is over. Which also means, sadly, this is the last day I get to wear this tie. It's funny, I wore this outfit literally 2 weeks ago on St. Patrick's Day, and you know what? It makes sense I wear it today, because I'm wearing all green in honor of the very last day of March. It's also, I'm going to call it here, this is the last day I'm going to wear flannel this year. I started wearing flannel in January, so we kept about a good 3 months. Alright, yeah. Actually, I think I may have started in December. I forget when I started. I could probably look back at my older videos over the last several months and see when I started, but yeah, this is going to be the last day I wear anything flannel. I say flannel, I really mean there's, if you can't tell, there's a sort of like wool sort of material underneath the sleeves keeping me warm. Honestly, it's been pretty warm lately, so yeah, I feel comfortable, going back to just regular long sleeve shirts. I'm still going to keep this layer of long johns on for now, just because, it really could make things a little bit warmer. But also, it's not quite warm enough where I think what I'll do is I'll keep the long johns until I feel it gets consistently warm. And then I'll just wear long sleeves, and then I'll go back to short sleeves. Hopefully by Memorial Day weekend, I'll be back to short sleeves again, depending on how the weather is. Although, before we get to Memorial Day, before we even get to April, I gotta talk about what happened in March, because after today, we will officially be done with 1 quarter of 2025. In fact, before I get into the real meat and potatoes of everything, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about what happened the last 2 days. Specifically on Saturday night, I went to Pix and walked into a veritable 90s party, and I almost got to cross off an item off my 2025 bucket list. I say almost. Here's the thing. I could have, but I actually want to be successful when I do this thing. And I felt that in that moment in time, it didn't feel quite right yet. And by quite right yet, I mean in order to do this thing, I kind of need to do this in a more private setting, let's say, where there's not that many people, or if there are a lot of people, I'd rather do it after having done something incredibly amazing, let's say. However, I may or may have not have purchased a certain item for a certain someone when I was there. I'm just going to leave it at that. Not going to leave it ambiguous enough to, have everybody speculate. But those who are in the know are definitely going to know what I'm talking about. So that was fun. And I mentioned how yesterday, I got my turkey dinner. Again, we didn't actually celebrate my birthday, but, I still got my turkey dinner. It was still great. Who can complain? I'm going to do something right now. Okay, so... Okay, so... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold on. Sorry. Yeah, okay, so let me try counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Darn it, hold on. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14. Of the 31 possible days in the month of March, 14 of them are on my best days of the 2025 list. With that said, 1, 2, 3, 4. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 plus 14, that's 30 days of this entire year. We're only 1/4 of the way through 2025, and I've got 30 days on my list of the best days of 2025. I'm quite literally on pace to have 1/3 of this year being composed of nothing but the best days of 2025. That is insane. Actually, let's talk about what happened in March real quick. Let's see. March 1st, tried Giuseppe's for the first time in Corning. As well as seeing Blue Eyed Soul for the third time in a row this year. Second time I saw him at a little tap house in celebration of Mardi Gras. Saw Tuesday, March 6th. Saw Country Chaos perform for the second time this year. March 8th, went to my very first St. Patrick's Day parade. March 9th, we celebrated my grandfather's 91st birthday. March 14th, it was Pie Day. Went to Breck Brewing Company for the Crown Royal tasting they had. It was the first time ever having tried Crown Royale. Crossed off the item off. Let's see. The next day, March 15th, was the Ides of March. Went my very first St. Patrick's Day bar crawl. Hold on. A day later, March 16th, went back to Horseheads Brewing, which is part of the bar crowd I went the day before, to see Cousins Made Lobster was there, and Cousins Made Lobster there. March 20th, the first day of spring, I got my free Ritas. Friday and Saturday, March 21st and 22nd, watched the College Wrestling National Championship semifinals and finals respectively. March 25th, I saw The Day the Earth Blew Up. March 28th, First Alive After 5 and got to try Manzari's for the first time. And, March 29th, walked into a veritable 90s party at PIX. March 30th, finally got my turkey dinner. Yeah. This month was amazing. Hold on. I need to do some math for this. Yeah. From the time I've been paying attention to this to now, this has been the greatest 20 months of my life. And I don't know what they, I say 20 months of my life, some people probably think there was something, wrong. Listen, again, I never tried with drugs or alcohol. I'm not talking about, I'm always sober. Who am I kidding? If you don't know, it was on July 29th, 2023. That was probably the worst I think I felt since I got properly diagnosed as having depression and pragmatic communication disorder. And from that moment on, I was, relegated to living my life in the gray. I would never know what happiness is. I would just be in the gray. I'd be able to see my nephews grow up, stuff like that, but I would never truly be happy. A day later, I run into the nicest group of people ever, and from that moment on, I haven't looked back. Due in no small part to these people, as well as many others that I've seen in the last 20 months. This has been the greatest 20 months of my life. Not to mention, considering this is only the first quarter of 2025. Actually, I'll put it right here for now. This is the first quarter of 2025. January and February are always so depressing because it's cold outside and everything like that. Which, don't get me wrong, there were times it was very cold. I'm not going to argue that. But there were so many good things that were happening as time went on that it seemed kind of arbitrary just to straight up call them, cold and depressing. And just call them what they were. And they were pretty good. And then you have March, which easily has had, more good days this month than the other two. And again, you still got to deal with, sometimes weather's cold outside and stuff like that. But you got to deal with that sort of stuff the first quarter of the year. And it was this good. Which means, there's where my computer mouse is right here. Which means it's only going to go up from here. That's insane. So, yeah. March 2025. And, granted, there's still a chance I could turn that number from 30 good days in 2025 to 31. Something good might happen today. I don't know. I'm not expecting it, but it could. I'm open to it. So, yeah. This is awesome. Not to mention, there's a lot to look forward to in April. We're still in Lent, so we got Easter in April. Already that's a big thing. My brother's going to turn 38 in a couple weeks. I believe he's going to be 38. No, I'm sorry, he's going to be 37. I'm sorry. He's going to be turning 37 in April. And there's a lot of birthdays happening too. The weather's going to get nicer. There's a few events I know for a fact I'm going to in a few weeks. Yeah. I'm rather hard pressed to think of a reason to be nervous going into April. I mean, there are a few things I am sad about at the moment. I mean, again, this is the last day I'm going to be wearing this tie, and the last day I'm going to be wearing flannel. That's going to happen. And the weather is still going to be a little bit on the cold side, especially in the morning, but I'm feeling pretty good right now. I'm feeling pretty optimistic. And I've got nothing more else to say. Although, before I sign off, let me double save my progress because I only just added March 29th and March 30th to my list of the best days of 2025. And I didn't save yet. Actually, let me double save. We always double save. We are very cautious here. Okay. So, yeah. Bring on April. I'm pumped. I'm ready to go. And not to mention, we got less than 2 months before we go back to the lake. That's crazy. But you know what? It's crazy in the best possible way. So, March of 2025, thank you for being so awesome. To the people in my life who've made these last 20 months as great as they are, you guys know who you are. Thank you. Here's to another 20 more. Yeah, obviously I hope it's a lot longer than that, but again, one thing at a time, one day at a time. And at this moment, all I can say is I am very humbled I made this video for all of you guys to watch and enjoy for today. Hopefully you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Monday. That's the thing, I didn't say happy Monday. Happy Monday, folks. And remember, if any of you guys want to talk or chat, I'm always going to be here to lend you know. Always have your back, take care, and make good choices. 607 all day, baby.